Hello, viewers. Me, Tanzina Pritha, welcoming you all to our Facebook Live tonight. As you all know, Britain's finance minister promised an additional £30 billion to head off an unemployment crisis on Wednesday, funneling money to employers, home buyers, and beleaguered hospitality firms to drive a recovery. Rishi Sunak, who was already on course to take state borrowing to World War II levels with £133 billion of initial coronavirus emergency measures, said he would return the public finances to a sustainable footing over the medium term. The world's sixth biggest economy shrank by 25% in March and April and could be heading for its biggest fall in 30 years in 2020, with the unemployment rate on course to more than double to about 10%, according to official projections. I hope all you are doing well. Looking forward to the new life after COVID-19 lockdown. Today, we have a topic, post-COVID-19 hospitality industry. Let me introduce to my panel tonight. We have with us Councillor Mujibur Rahman, former Mayor Corby, Northamptonshire, and businessman. Welcome to our show tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me for being part of this great program. I want to extend my thank you to the Caterers Association founder, Abedur, Shimu, my good friend, and nice to meet Mr. Chotai and yourself. Been a great host. Thank you.
Thank you. Tonight we have with us Mr. Henal Chotai, owner of Red Cafe London. Welcome to our show tonight. How are you?
Thank you. Very well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Looking forward to a good discussion today.
And we have with us Mr. Abedur Rahman Shimu, President Caterers Association UK. Welcome to you as well.
Thank you, Pritha. Thank you, Mujibur, for joining, and thank you, Mr. Chotai, for joining our show tonight.
Thank you so much to all of you have with us tonight. First of all, Mr. Mujibur Rahman, after lockdown and before lockdown, with all the situation overall, how are you?
Oh, fine. Thank you so much, and absolutely brilliant. Coping really well. It's been quite challenging, but we are in good health and we are still in good shape, and we are still in the challenging time that we can overcome this most drastic, hard lining situation we are facing. It's really good. It's hard, but it's really good.
So you have a green light to open since last Saturday, your restaurant. So you have opened it on Saturday.
Yes,
Saturday.
I mean, most of the restaurants. There is lots of restaurants have decided not to open since the green signal came up. Personally, I have opened my business on Saturday, and we had spoken, and I had a bit of vibe before even we had the green signal, and we had before many discussions with friends and most of the restaurant owners. How the COVID-19 we're going to cope when the restaurant reopens. And on Saturday we had the similar the vibe we had, and we actually faced the reality on Saturday. We thought that we are a very busy restaurant. We thought they would be very busy on Saturday. We did had quite large numbers of people booked up in advance, but unfortunately, a lot of people have not turned up. But we know exactly why, because of the confidence. They have less confidence in terms of COVID-19. We knew that this is going to happen. We were ready for the scenario as well. But we still working hard to make sure that the people are coming to your business to dine in, that they are safe. The confidence has been built by our trained staff and the management, that they go back and takes the positive feedback for the others. And at the same time, the risk assessment the guidelines have been imposed by the government, and we are very aware of this as well. A lot of people are actually concerned about the social distancing. Some restaurants have got small capacities, so most of the customers obviously will be very concerned about the social distancing, how they're going to manage the social distancing and the PPEs while the staff are working. So that is one of the issues. So we are actually have been our best to make sure that we are actually following the guidelines. We have done our risk assessment, 5 steps. We are doing our social media marketing as well. So we are very optimistic that we'll probably the business will build up, but it is going to be very challenging for the industry.
Definitely, because if you try to maintain the social distance, and if you have to follow the instruction and guidelines according to the government in your kitchen, especially, it would be very much challenging for you. Now,
Pritha, can I ask?
yeah, sure.
Sure, Mujibur. To build the customer, this is one of the main challenging aspects of returning customers, like building the confidence that we are following the guidelines. So, what measures have you took to build the confidence of your customers? You are definitely keeping the 1 meter distance. You've got the sanitizing stations. Yeah, please, can you tell us?
Let me share my personal experience, because I have worked with public before, particularly in COVID-19, because I normally work with the council offices too as well. And
That's
many
right.
of those, I do give a lot of advices to friends or maybe the restaurant owners within the community as well. I mean, what I find the most important thing is, although the 2 meter social distance has been reduced to 1 meter plus for the restaurants.
Yeah.
My experience is, according to the customers' concerns, 1 meter distance plus, I feel that still they don't find it very reasonable, or maybe they don't find it very safe or secure within 1 meter. So what I have planned and advising other restaurant owners that, look, make sure within the quiet period of time, why should we, if we have a bigger places, why should we actually keep 1 meter distance? Try to keep 2 meter distances or more to start building the confidence on. That is the only fear the customers have. Soon as they walk in, or how are you actually maintaining this social distancing and safety of the customers? So social distancing is one of the key issue in the business. So once you actually start building and telling the customers that yes, the regulation says this 1 meter minimum plus, but we are actually maintaining 2 meter or maybe slightly less, something like that. It's all about common sense. It's all about sense to restore the confidence on people. And we are getting good feedback. I mean, it's your staff has to be trained. They have to tell exactly how I have explained to the customers. So every staff has to be trained. Because it's the local, I mean, where we are situated, the restaurant is, we get the customers are mostly like 50 plus, most mature people, so they are obviously very concerned about their health issue. So this is why I think that this 1 meter distancing, it is within the guidelines, but it is not actually building the confidence on people. So from my understanding, I think we should actually leave more than that, as much as we can.
Thank you.
Hope for the best, definitely. Now, Mr. Henal Chotai, I would like to ask you that did you open your restaurant, or what's your plan for next?
So for myself, I'm not open yet. My plan is for the end of July, purely because we have a lot to deal with in our business. You've got the financial side, the marketing side, the legal side, the hygiene side, which obviously we know that, for me, after healthcare, hospitality is the most hygienic place. We have the environmental health officers that monitor us. There's not many other industries that have people monitoring people for that. Our industry obviously has been hit like this, but I think for me, it's been about careful planning. It's a good time to restructure. hospitality taken a big knock. We now, as has been said, you know, this distancing, obviously for us, our tables are our money. It's not like the retail where you've got the shelves. They've still got 100% of their shelves. Our tables bring us the money, you know. They've got their online. Obviously, we have our delivery and things, but ours is a food that disappears quick. So for me, it's very much about restructuring how we look at everything. For example, I looked at my credit card terms, and I'm now going to save 40% on them compared to February. So all these little bits are going to help. I think investment, future-proofing ourselves, for example, is required. I've purchased a air filtration system, for example, for my cafe, just to help purify. You know, it's all that customer safety that they're looking for. So I've invested in that, which will help. You know, it shows customer confidence. The example, I was only going to have the visors before, but reading, listening to what customers are saying and what people's reactions are, they would prefer masks. So we're going to move over to the mask. So it's definitely a big mountain to climb, but my personal opinion, take all the tools that you need with you, because halfway when you get there, you don't want to be going back down again to pick some more tools up.
No, true.
So actually, it would be very much tough for all of you to make trust on your customer as well. So you need to take too much measure for that. Now I'd like to ask Mr. Abedur and Shimu. I guess you were busy with your new role as a president of Caterers Association UK. You need to take care of lots of things right now. You need to take all the measure for all your association's well-being. So what's your plan for that?
Thank you, Pritha. It's not well. Obviously, it's a tough job, but obviously, the industry itself is going through a turmoil, and this is where the association, like ourselves, is and will be doing a lot of things to get the confidence of our members and the customer itself by helping and supporting the members and passing on that message on to the customers that the restaurants are a safe place to go. The food are same as before. The staffs are there. The restaurant is following the government guidelines and adoring the social distancing, hygiene. Yeah, this is very hard time for all of us, and we all need to work together. It's not just the association can do it. The restaurant owners, the staff, even the customers, in some sense, need to work together to help ourselves come out of this situation. With that.
So what's next? Actually, I would like to ask Mr. Mujibur Rahman. You are playing an important role, and today you have an announcement from your councillor as well.
So, no, can I? Sorry, I want to come to that point since today's announcement that you were just mentioning. Yes, there was a big announcement today by the government. And let me, what I want to do is, like, probably your question was to summarize the announcement, I believe.
Exactly.
Yes, that's exactly right. Let me just summarize
your opinion.
Yeah, sure. Let me summarize this today's announcement, and I think we'll go through. Today's announcement is unprecedented in many ways. I'm happy to see the investment made by the government through VAT cut, employers bonus to keep the workers at work, eat out to help out, and stamp duty threshold raised to $500,000. But my fear is, as I said before, it's the 12th month into post-COVID-19, the recession that is looming on our head. Anyhow, let me summarize the today's announcement by the Treasury. Under the new bonus plan to keep people at work, employers will be paid £1,000 after the furlough scheme expires at the end of October for every worker who returns to their job, provided they are kept on through to the end of January. Also, employers will be given £2,000 for each apprentice they took on under the age of 25. VAT cut to help hospitality and tourism industry hampered by social distancing rules, cut in value-added tax for the sector to 5% from 20% for 6 months. Beside pubs and restaurants, there are cafes, zoos and cinemas included. Until next January, would cost the Treasury £4 billion. It is effective from next Wednesday next Wednesday, but will not apply to alcohol. It's on just food. Eat out to help out. It's a new policy. People eating out in August between Monday and Wednesday will receive a 50% discount of up to £10 each, paid for by the government. A new policy, Eat Out to Help Out, which the Chancellor described as creative and never tried in UK before. It will give the people 50% discount on eating in restaurants and cafes from Monday to Wednesday throughout August. Businesses will need to register through a website open from next Monday. Stamp duty threshold has been raised to £500,000. Mr. Sanook said the move would save jobs in the construction sector to encourage homeowners to move and invest in their homes. But my understanding is that the borrowing, although the government is listening to the businesses and responded with a VAT cut of 15% for next 6 months, but no way this is enough. The VAT cut should be for at least 12 months. That's my understanding, and for the full meal, including the drinks. So I want to ask now, what's your opinion, Henal, on that? On today's announcement.
On today's announcement, it's. I can only say I got to smile a bit because it's something, if somebody throws you a rope, you're not going to say no to it. We've got to at least take it on board. We've been given a bit of a lifeline. Obviously, there's still a lot more to do because, as you said, the whole world is in a recession here. But it's given us an opportunity to say, okay, here's a lifeline. Let's use that to keep going. I'm sure Rishi is going to review it. He's got to come up with something immediately. And this book of COVID financial, what do you do? It's empty. He's filling it up as he goes along. So it's a difficult job he has, but we've got some help. We've got to take it. Let's hope that the public now can see that and contribute towards that and understand that they need us. We've seen how much hospitality has helped the NHS. We were the first industry to drop everything, not think about money, not think about how much we're earning or not. Let's feed our nation. Let's feed our heroes that, so we need that support as well now. But I think, we're hospitality as a family. We're very much together, and now is the time to stay together and help each other. This is, I've been doing a lot of seminars with some independent restaurant owners. I think, have a responsibility of the older generation and some experience to be able to now pass on this knowledge. And, let's open our hands up and say, come, my hand is open. We're here to help. Let's drag everybody up to fight this. We're all in it together, aren't we? But yeah, there's no such thing as your competitor or your enemy. I think just work together. Anything can help each other bring forward. It's my thing but if we fight together, we will get through it together. That's for sure.
Sure, that's understandable. Sorry, go on, Pritha.
Okay, sure. You can go ahead. Sure.
No, I was gonna ask Henal. I mean, the VAT cut. Obviously, everybody is talking about VAT cut, and the VAT cut has been happened after a long time. I think more than 10 years ago. When was that? I think roughly more than that. And this is something that is very good for the industry. But
absolutely,
there's a complication. There's a complication of VAT cut only on the food, not on the alcohol. This is going to be, I mean, it is good, but is it going to serve the purpose?
It's going to help. I mean, we all know on food, the basic equation is 30% food costs, 30% wage costs, 30% on bills, and 10% on for you, if you're lucky. You know, so if we are at least, you know, our food cost is when you when you buy something, you're not paying the VAT. When you sell it, you have to charge the VAT. So we're at a disadvantage in that sense compared to the big industries like the supermarkets. So sure, you know, you're getting a 15% back, so to speak, to invest, to at least grow, to keep us sustained. And it can only help. I can only see it as helping. At least our VAT, when we do have to pay it back, there's going to be less of it to pay. So as long as we use that money and not say, great, we can spend it, invest it, make sure keep hold of it. So at least if another storm comes, we've got some investment.
No, that's understandable. Every little helps, as they say. But isn't it basically, if you look at a bill of a £50 bill, and there's a £50 bill, two people, £25 per head, something like that. The alcohol is more than half, isn't it? Drink wise goes more than half. So when you calculate those small bits and pieces, is it going to really help the industry? That's my question. I know. Bottom line, yes, every little help, as I said before, but would it serve the purpose? Mujibur, you can come into this.
Yeah, can I just echo what Mr. Henal? It's not normally 50% of food and the drinks. Usually it's about 25 to 30% of the drinks. And the food is usually about 70%, unless if somebody comes in and spends a lot of money, maybe 3-4 rounds of drinks. But usually it would be, the food price would be approximately 70%, and the drinks would be 30%. So on the 70%, if we are actually paying 5%, I think we are doing quite well. So basically, the government is doing everything they can to actually help the industries that they can save a little bit of money to actually get themselves going and sustaining the industry. So I think every single packages the Chancellor is bringing in is going to help the businesses and the industries. So even if we pay them 70% from the food, still it's going to help the businesses to actually retain in the business. So all these packages from past, like job retention scheme and the furlough scheme and the BBLS, and every single package is actually helping the industries and the economy and the entire people of the country, to be honest. So they're doing their support, they're doing their best to make sure that we sustain in the business. As Mr. Henal said, that we are all in the same platform, to be honest. So we have to help each other. It's not only the government's jobs that they just give us. It's our responsibility as well to actually work along with the community and the government to make sure that we can sustain in this turmoil. And to be honest, I've seen one of the articles today somewhere. It says the recession, it's going to hit. We have seen within the last 300 years, and the economy has shrunk by 14%. And we are the largest economy in the world. Where we are last year, we were fifth largest economy. So this is another bad signal for us, actually. So in this, hopefully we can sustain, but we need to work together to actually make sure we can come out from this turmoil.
I totally agree with you, Mujibur. What I want to say that obviously the VAT is that the other part, the new one the government introduced, Eat Out, Help Out. That's a nice one. The government will pay up to £10 of a meal for myself, and if I'm with my other half, that means government will pay £20 towards the bill. Is it? And this is it's a very good thing. Is coming to us. The government will have to register. The restaurants have to register with their name and everything, and then they will get it. They will invoice the government, and I think the information will come out soon. But what I want to say that, isn't it something that tells us that the recession is imminent? The government is trying to, support the industry, get the people to come out and eat and everything. Even paying for your bill, half of the money they're paying for it. So this is worrying for us, isn't it?
This is let me just the reason is the government, what the package says that they're going to pay the program says eat out, there is like 50% discount they're going to give, and the 50% will be paid by the government. So basically this is to encourage the people to actually go out, dine out in the restaurants, so the catering industry can actually boost, and they can sustain in the business. To be honest, I've contacted many of my friends in my circle. Quite a few of my friends, they're already gone, finished from the industry. We are surviving. The reason is because we have the facility of providing the takeaway service. So the most of the takeaway services, like the restaurants or takeaways, are doing the takeaway services. They are very lucky. I would say very lucky in this current climate, because their business has boomed by, maybe some of the takeaways have boomed by 50%, some are 70%, some are 80%. So those people are in the takeaway businesses, although they were in the restaurant trade. But some restaurants were fine dining, they were unable to provide the takeaway service. They have been very unfortunate, and some of the restaurants are vanished completely already. Very unfortunate, very, very unlikely, they're going to come back.
So the government is doing government is doing everything they could to get the consumer out, but it is our duty to get them
out.
It is our duty to capture them. Not capture as in
Welcome them and make sure
them. That's right. Yeah.
Sorry, if I may, I was going to say, customer confidence is low. Okay, Kate Nichols from the UK Hospitality was saying the figures she was saying, 30% people were coming. The revenues people were, the lowest was 10% of revenues that they were expecting. Some were between 30 and 60%. Wow. This initiative, I believe, is a good initiative because it's going to allow people to visit the places to see how it is with that initiative, to say, do you know what? It's not as bad as I thought. They've done things very well. We as hospitality, we want to do the right thing because at the end of the day, we want customers to come in. So this initiative, if they do come, they see us, they can see, do you know what? It was not as bad as I thought. I'm going to tell other people, we must go back there again. We must go back to this place. So it can only be a benefit of them having that initiative to say, here's £10, here's £10 for you, here's £10 for you. They will spend it, they'll enjoy it, they'll have a good time. I'm pretty sure people will come out and they will see happiness in everyone's face. So it's a brilliant initiative.
Yeah, the bottom line is, we know this is a deadly disease, and we cannot take it very lightly. So those restaurant owners, they have to take it very seriously. Their staff has to be fully trained and very vigilant how they're actually maintaining their hygiene standards. So putting the sanitizer on the table and putting a mask, it's not the job is done. You have to be very vigilant and well trained. The staff has to be very vigilant in terms of when the people are using the bathrooms or toilets. Then because it's human to human transmission, so minimize that. We have to be very careful how we are conducting our responsibilities. So the employees or your management has to be very vigilant to make sure the hygiene standards are well maintained according to the guideline. And as soon as the people start seeing this, then slowly, as time goes by, it will start building the confidence. So it depends on the entire management how we actually maintaining our hygiene standard and how we actually building the confidence on the customers.
The customers, and I would like to add you something as well here, because you are talking lots of things, whatever I would like to ask you, but already we have been talking so many things. Right now you have to plan your restaurant in a new way, so you will have to think your food menu in new way as well. So what would be your plan for next?
Who is it for, Pritha?
I didn't get you.
Who is it for? Is it Mr. Henal?
This question is for Mr. Mujibur Rahman.
Yeah, we have already taken the steps to actually minimize the dishes. We have, because of the COVID-19, we have actually taken out the most expensive dishes from the menu, and we are actually stepped into the healthy options as well. So the menu is quite slimmer now than how we had it before. And to make sure, because according to the rules, the COVID-19 risk assessment rule, you have to minimize as much as possible in your kitchen, that if you have 7 staffs, you need to minimize as much as possible to maintain the social distancing as well as the hygiene standard. So to do that, you really have to maintain your menu as well. So you have to slim your menu, make life easy. And I think from my experience as well, you can put 200 main courses or dishes in your menu. End of the day, people are going to have all of them. But if you don't have 200, if you have 50, they're going to have the 50. So it's entirely up to yourself. So for COVID-19, I would say that, to slimmer your menu, make your menu smaller, take out the most expensive stuff, make reasonable price, and this I think in this climate, I think the dine out is going to be very hard to actually attract people. It's going to take time, but to focus on takeaway, you have to do a lot of marketings and do more sort of takeaway business. And to do that, you really have to minimize your menu, make life easy for your staff.
Mr. Henal, are you reducing your menu?
Yeah, I've taken this opportunity to rebrand, to relook at my menu, and I'd like to echo your thoughts. We're going to reduce our menu. We're going to concentrate on our good ones, that obviously the popular dishes. But by reducing, I think we would increase the quality of it. We're going to if you focus on your good menus, you're going to add that extra zing. You're going to give it that twist to give that people say, do you know what? Our popular dish that we had, it's even better. We have to show to our customers, we reduced our menu, yes, but you know what? Our quality has just gone that extra bit. We will obviously, we've spoken about the hygiene, but I think once they see that we are quality, we're building up that level of revenue. So if you have 200 dishes, as a councillor was saying, how many different ingredients are you going to have? How much wastage are you going to have? So if you throwing that food away, it's giving you that impression, do you know what? It's not working. I'm losing more money because I'm not as busy as before. But that reduction reduces your food waste until you can find your level. It's a flat line. There's a whole new ball game. Forget about looking at last year's revenue and last year's figures, how busy we will be. That's irrelevant now. This is a new game. This is a new hospitality. We have to embrace it. If you don't change, you are going to fall behind, unfortunately. As you said, you're going to fall behind. As we say, I'm in the kitchen a lot, and technology. I'm not used to a keyboard in front of me at the moment. I'm used to a chopping board. But the technology that we have to change, we have to embrace it. There's a mix of both. My IT person was saying, right, everything's going to be on the screen now for your new EPOS. I'm used to a ticket machine. I said, I must have the ticket machine because certain traditions you must have. I want to hear that machine click to say a next order. But it's the mix of the both. And I think you must embrace it. Don't be scared. It's not hard. There are people to help you there. You can walk it through. But to embrace everything and to learn, that's the only key to success. It's the only key to success. Plan, think ahead. If you think ahead, little things like, for example, my fire alarm is not due to be replaced until a year and a half. I've said, you know what, just do it this year, because once we are open, you want to concentrate on your operations. You don't want to say, 6 months I have to do this, and in 8 months I have to do this, because your stop-start, your planning is stopped. So try. I know it's hard because we have to look at our finances, but if you can plan, future-proof, look at what might happen. It's, little things like it's an investment, but I'm changing my taps to the sensorless ones. There's advantages for it because nobody touches it. People will look at that and say, do you know what? They've made an improvement to it. You're going to save on water. Sometimes, we have it that somebody's left the tap running and the water bill just starts flying away. So if we can change, the sensorless soap dispensers for the sanitizers, all of these little things, it's a small cost, but the gain, you have to look at future. If you start spending cheap, when we buy our pots and pans, let's say, for example, you buy a cheap pot and pan just to get you going. you're going to spend that double in 2 months' time because that one's broken.
Yes.
If you spend the money now, the reason why they're catering equipment because they last. If you go to IKEA to buy something and it breaks down after a week or something, So think about this. You don't want any of these problems. I'm getting my place completely sanitized before it happens, getting the place painted. My extractor was only done just before he closed, which hurt, obviously, because they're now not being used. But if we do all of these things, then we can concentrate on fighting to make sure we're getting the customers, we're bringing them. We need to focus on our hospitality to the customers. That's why they're coming. They want to enjoy it there. They don't want to be cocooned too much into this plastic container. It's hospitality at the end of the day. We want to show our smiles, our love. Why are they there? They're there for a birthday. They want a happy time. They don't want to be worried about, oh, look at this person hasn't done this, hasn't done that. We have to show we are ready to take this on, I think.
Sure. That's good. Pritha, can I just ask a question to Mr. Mujibur Rahman? And obviously, Henal as well. And I've got a question for you as well, Pritha. One of the viewers want to know some your opinion on, share your opinion on Bangladesh food industry, what they're doing to the COVID-19. So I'll come to it. Mujibur, the apprenticeship, the government will give you £2,000 for each they take on under the age of 25. Is our industry ready to accept apprentice?
This is only an incentive, to be honest. It's going to be a very hard line because those people are furloughed previously on the job retention scheme, and we're going to recruit the apprenticeship. It is an incentive actually been given by the government, but it's down to the businesses, how the business is doing. I mean, if we start getting the furloughed people back in job, and this current climate, then it's going to be very tough for the businesses to actually get the apprenticeship. And this is going to be very challenging, to be honest. It is an incentive the government has given. There is some big businesses, yes, of course, the other businesses, they might do it. The catering industry is going to be very tough.
Okay. Now I was saying that, I mean, are we sort of as an industry, are we ready to take on apprentices? Because obviously the apprentices are happening for a long time, but we as an industry, I don't think we have braced it enough.
We have embraced it. There is no trend of embracing it because there is no opportunity. I mean, to be honest, a lot of restaurants have not adapted to this trend, to be honest. And we have not done it in past, so it is going to be very hard and challenging, and something is going to be, again, it's new for the industry. So it's lots of guidelines, lots of rules there as well. So I'm not sure that whether the industry is actually capable of doing that. It's just the restaurants are run by the businesses. They always try to follow up the simple methods rather than going to the complications. To be honest. So, and especially with COVID-19, it is going to be very, very hard for the businesses to go around.
No, that's fine. Mr. Henal, do you want to say something on the apprentice? We, the industry, are we ready to accept apprentices?
So quite a lot of my staff, this is their first time job. I'm very much a believer for the young. We've got to give them a chance. They all complain, no one gives us a chance. You go for a job, where have you done? No experience, sorry. For me, it's always about attitude in hospitality. You must have an attitude, a personality. As I say, I can teach you to carry 5 plates, I can teach you to carry 6 plates, but I can't teach you a personality. And our industry is born on this. We must have a personality with our customers. So I'm happy with this apprenticeship. In our industry, most employees are below the age of 24. That's the biggest segment within our category. So we're doing it anyway. It's not a hurtful thing. So obviously each business has to assess, but if we think back, those of us that remember a long time ago, apprenticeship in the kitchen and apprenticeships were the big thing. You had to get an apprenticeship because it's a chance for you to A, get some experience, and B, maybe they might not last, but at least they're getting some grounding. I've always said, for me, most people like military service should do hospitality. because if you can do 6 months in hospitality, that will teach you a lot more within the world. You know, we are thick-skinned people. When people are abusing us, we're standing there smiling at them, offering them something else instead of standing there giving other questions back to them. So I welcome it. I mean, it's a help. You know, we can only try, can we not, to teach the next generation. It's all this classroom based and all that. It's good grounding, but it's the experience that obviously counts. To be able to learn what you learn in paper, but in hospitality it can be a completely different ball game. So I do welcome it. We're definitely looking at seeing what can we do to try and help with our young children.
I think, I mean, we as a catering association, we will be pushing towards our members that the apprenticeship program. The reason for that is this is a program that government helps. Obviously, as we discussed, every little helps. I mean, with the apprentice, I'm sure most of you know that government pays for it, and you have to pay low salary because obviously they're studying. And they work as well in the restaurant. So, and it is something because they're young, and you know, if you can teach them properly, and they'll learn that. As Henal was saying, it is something that we, as an association, we're gonna push towards for the industry our industry to embrace the apprenticeship program more. Because we need that. Because look, we always complain about staff shortages and stuff, and I think we should embrace this opportunity going forward. So this is something. I mean,
Shimu might do the same thing. Yeah. Can I actually echo you on this subject?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
The apprenticeship, from my experience, you know, in 2011, I have done one of these program called boot camp, with students from 5 different schools, and that's one of the experiences I'm going to be sharing, and it's very good. It's very good to actually share the Indian cuisine with the people, the British-born people, students.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of the successful programs I've done back in 2011. I had about 30 students been trained up in my restaurant, and many of them actually worked for many restaurants within the area. That was one of the first. That's the only program I actually did it. And when I was running the restaurant in Corby, I left it last year. Actually, I've sold it on. And beside myself, to be honest, I had the employees. I had 10 employees there. They're from all sorts of backgrounds, and a lot of them were local British-born British people were working in the restaurant. They were. What happens is it's very easy, because we don't seem to understand. It's very easy to train them.
Yes.
In front of the house, then somebody who comes from newly from Bangladesh, or maybe subcontinent of India, is not very familiar with the industry, or maybe front of the house. They picked up very quick and fast, and we don't realize this. But the downfall is that our industry, the thinking we have, we don't actually like to adapt to it. But there is government scheme for apprenticeship. They spend millions of pounds to actually on apprenticeship, and we don't take the advantage of it. The curry industry itself don't take the advantage of it, to be honest. Otherwise, it will benefit a lot to the curry industry. And I think your association needs to push that. Your association needs to work along with the owners and the restaurateurs to encourage them. Probably not many of them are very aware of it. How the apprenticeship works.
Like
awareness. I mean, this is my experience, because I have created many students within Corby and Catering and Wellingborough within Northamptonshire. I mean, believe me or not, 30 students. I trained them how to serve people, how to serve the customers, how to greet them, even the cooking in the kitchen. And those people, they were so benefited. They worked for other restaurants as well. So we are creating to support the industry, and it's not
helping
hard.
each other.
We actually work together, and if your association actually creates this awareness, or maybe if you campaign to actually adapt to this system, this will benefit the industry in the long run, to be honest.
100%. Thank you, Mujibur. Pritha, I'm going to ask you a question. One of the viewers has asked the question, and then I'm going to pass it over to you. His name is Rahman. He has asked you a question that, in your opinion, he wants to hear from you. What is the hospitality industry and the government are doing? I mean, what's the government doing towards the hospitality industry in Bangladesh to face the post-COVID-19? I know you're not from. I know you're not from the industry at all, but Mr. Rahman wants to hear that.
And actually, right, you are. Whenever I am here for last 2 times, I just felt I'm in a sea. I'm not getting anything because, truly speaking, I didn't know anything about your industry, but right now I'm just getting to know a little bit. Let me tell you frankly, if we want to make a comparison between UK and Bangladesh, it would be absolutely bullshit because in all aspects, economical, environmental, everything, we are totally different.
Behind,
in our absolutely, we have some lackings, we have some shortages. Overall, with all the things we are trying to do, cope up with the situation, but right now we are in a peak time, if you say. We are trying to go back to our normal life, but day by day, our affected persons are increasing, our death toll is increasing. Government is trying to run the livelihood of a person, but I don't know how much it would be possible because some of our areas are locked down till now. So government is helping. They are taking some measures for to run the industry, especially hospitality sector, in every aspects as well. But I don't think it would be possible for me to compare with the situation to UK and Bangladesh because we have lots of differences with us, and we have manpower, but we need to utilize them properly. And many of our people are right now jobless, and many people are not getting their salaries as well, and different companies are planning to short their employees as well. So we need to think all of the things because government is helping, and they are giving some money for limited period, but that won't be a permanent solution for the situation. So we need to come forward, and I hope for the best because this is the time for all of us to survive. So if we can survive, we will have to plan ourselves and we can make our life much more better. I do believe that.
No problem. Thank you, Pritha. And we have, as we discussed a couple of programs before, Catering Association UK will be working alongside with a catering association in Bangladesh, Dhaka soon. We have put our hands forward to work with them to give our thoughts, give our on the hygiene side of it. So there's lots of things that the Catering Association UK and Bangladesh Catering Association in Bangladesh, we will do some programs to sort of hand in hand to help with the hygiene levels and other things along the way. Thank you, Pritha.
And last of all, I would like to say one more thing, that people of our Bangladeshis, many of us are very much aware of their safety and security. But the thing is, if we look at the situation of whole world, some people are not aware of their security as well. So I do believe that whatever you were trying to cope up with this situation in Bangladesh, definitely hospitality industry will be settled down themselves as well. And though I am the host of this show tonight, so I would like to ask some question you as well, because you guys have lots of discussion between all of you. So lastly, whatever I was just saying before some time, that this is the time of surviving. So we need to survive, and we need to plan for the next. So what you are thinking right now? First of all, Mr. Mujibur Rahman, what's your opinion?
I think the simple answer is the time will tell. Very unpredictable, to be honest. Um, we don't even know. I mean, to be honest, I mean, now we are in a fear. Myself, I'm always in a fear when I go out. I don't really know whether I'm going to be affected or infected by the coronavirus. If I do, how am I going to survive? And that is very unpredictable situation. So we are always hoping for the best, and we are all in the same scenario and platform, and we are hoping for the best. That inshallah we will do our utmost best to survive in this current situation, and hope to create a better life in the future. I mean, we are hoping that if the vaccine comes out, then we will be in safe hand. That is one of the most important thing we can hope for. But until then, we are not safe at all. This is deadly disease. We have to be very precautious. We have to be very vigilant. We have to be very careful. And my best wishes for the people of Bangladesh. 160 million people are there. I was born in Bangladesh. I love Bangladesh. I love the people of Bangladesh, and I know it's a big time. And a lot of people I see on the social media and on the news articles that a lot of people are not maintaining the social distances in Bangladesh. Is lacking of understanding, or maybe the awareness, or maybe because they are unemployed, financial constraints, many issues. Of course, the government are helping, but I'm sure that it's not going to be as well as the help like how we are getting in the United Kingdom or in the European countries. But the government is doing their utmost best. But our prayers will always remain with the people of Bangladesh, and we always will work along with them. I understand that Brother Abedur Rahman Shimu has actually raised a lot of money to support the people, the vulnerable people in Bangladesh, so as I did and many other organizations did. We did it in past. We always will do, and inshallah, we will always work with the people of Bangladesh, and our prayers will remain with yourselves.
I'd like to add one more thing with you, because you give lots of money and you try to help lots of people, and that's very much appreciable, definitely. But I'd like to request all of you that you need to find out a permanent solution, because if we were helping right now, that won't be sufficient for the long-term period. So if you find a solution for the survival, and then it would be helpful for them in better way. So what do you think, Mr. Henal Chotai, your last opinion for tonight's show?
I would just tell everybody, then please plan. Honestly, just think ahead. As I said, this is not a short journey. This is a long journey. I think personally thinking, forget about profit. Just forget about it. Don't try and achieve something which we know, as much as we want, is not going to be achievable. I think that the word break even, that's your figure. Get to that break even. Just keep it going. Try and take advantage of everything. Contact your local council, your local area. There's business groups, and connect with people. See how you can help each other. What can you do with your neighbor? It might not even be the same business. It's not just restaurants. Look at how can you support each other? Because if our high street disappears, people will not come to us as well. It's if the little shop goes, if the small shoe shop, the key cutting, whatever, people will not come out then, and we will suffer. So we must lead. I think hospitality, we're a strong, I would like to call us a very strong side. If there was a battle and we were just given cardboard shields, we'll happily fight, because we love our industry too much, and we can survive. I'm sure, if we stay positive, we will do positive things, and therefore that positivity will come with us. So for all our members, all the members, just please keep that positivity, because I think that's the thing that's going to keep you going.
And that makes your mental strength to be more strong.
Everything you do will be positive.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abedur Rahman Shimu. Lastly, I'd like to ask your opinion.
So Oh yeah. Oh, thank you, Pritha. Thank you. All I want to say is that obviously the announcement by the government tonight is very welcoming for the industry, and we want to thank the government for listening to the businesses within the hospitality industry and making making the effort and to come up with this solution. Although the government is listening to the business and responded with the VAT cut, the VAT cut of for 5%, sorry, 15% to 5%. But as I said before, I don't want to sort of like end the show with the down bit, but I want to say that it is not enough, because obviously as Henal was saying, Mujibur was saying that this, yeah, it is for 6 months, but in the long run, I'm sure Mr. Sanuk will come up with a plan for the next 6 months. This is what we want. The other thing that I want to mention as president of the association, that the bounce back loan is something that gave us this strength to move forward, gave us this money to pay for the rent, areas, the bills and everything, and this was it was very much needed. But it's only next June that the payments start, and it's about 800 and something pounds per month. We want the government to extend this payment holiday for another 12 months. So altogether, we want another 12 months. That means 24 months payment holiday. It will be easier for us to make this payment. And I'm sure the government has come so far, and I'm sure they'll listen to us and they'll make that adjustment, because we all want to pay that. And we all want to help the government in this current situation. And I'm sure the government will listen to us. And lastly, I want to thank the government again for the proposal they put forward today. And also I want to thank Mr. Henal for joining us, Mr. Mujib for joining us. I don't want to say all the way from Northampton and all the way from Northampton, because you're sitting at home. And Pritha, you as well, all the way from Bangladesh. But obviously, internet made it so easy for us. Thank you very much, everyone.
It's been a pleasure inviting me.
Absolute great talking to you.
Thank you to Caterers Association and the host, my Bagni, and Mr. Kanan. Yeah, pleasure.
Yeah.
And it's lovely to meet you all, and I hope see you soon.
Inshallah.
So whoever you are watching our show tonight, I hope you all will be good and stay your life safe, because if you stay safe, your family will be safe. So keep with us and stay safe. Good night.